Hey guys, welcome to another Ironmite GT Sport stream. Today this is the Toyota Cup at Interlagos. When the lobby opened up for the very first race of the day, I just couldn't believe how many people in this group that I knew. So for example, Pinky Hammer, Have Fun, South Oz, Takuma, Harmonic, Step Aside Junior, and the list goes on. There was about, I reckon about 60% of the people I knew. Just couldn't believe it. I was thinking, oh, this would be good, but usually when things pan out or look to be good, usually there's trouble afterwards. So there's a bit of me a bit concerned about having so many people that I knew. Nevertheless, it was mad. It was crazy. So anyway, just showing you here my usual approach. I'll just have a look at the how many points are on offer. Just get the car set up. I thought, well, brake balance 4 and traction control 3, and then go through a list and say g'day and good luck to a number of people that I know. So knowing so many, I had to do it twice actually. So there it is, Pinky Hammer, South Oz, Have Fun. This is the qualifying, last lap actually, right at the end. So people are putting in times of about 1:34. And I put in a 2 minutes and 4. So obviously I want to start at the back. 3 people I don't think qualified at all, so there's 3 people behind me. And I qualified 14th, so I think there's 17 people. We're all in the same car, the Toyota Supra. So like the setup is hard and medium tyres available, but doing a lot of practice during the week, I eventually decided doing a no stopper on hards is the way to go. Doing a pit stop is about 25 to 30 seconds, especially if you use quite a bit of fuel. You're hanging around in pit stops for a while, so decided to do a no stopper, which obviously means I'm on hard tyres at the beginning. Doing a lot of short shifting to get 18 laps worth of fuel out of it. Ignoring that, you probably do about 15 laps of fuel. So short shifting to get to 18. And then looking after the tyres. I noticed the fronts wear a lot, so I put my brake balance back to 4, which I felt comfortable with. And traction control 3. I know whenever I go around the track without traction control or traction control 1, I'd just be pushing it a bit hard to lose grip. 2 was slightly the same, and I really wanted to emphasize looking after these tyres. So luckily for me, I'm near the back, so at the beginning it's a grid start. Not really too worried about trying to jump ahead, because I imagined turn 1 was going to be a bit of a nightmare. So starting in 14th out of 17. Someone's made a mistake already up ahead, ghosting. And here just trying to take it easy. You know, trying to tell myself I'm at the back, and yet there's still people behind me. I was just so worried that if I try to qualify properly, and let's say I qualified 6th, there's a bit of pressure on turn 1 and going in hard, and then if someone punts you, you're just getting punched right out, you know, wearing your tyres down, and you're at the back anyway. So it gets messy around here. Just couldn't believe how much people were slowing down on corners, and I thought, man, looks like everyone's fuel saving and trying to take it easy. I was a bit impressed with how people were trying to be careful, but it just felt like it was a bit too careful. So I'm kind of hitting people like Harmonic, I think that is, in front of me. I'm hitting people that I know and have you know, wished them luck. Just not my fault. Not my fault. Just trying to keep it as clean as I can. So I've got Step Aside Junior beside me, and trying to keep it clean, trying to give him some room. Just felt like here, well, he just pushed me off a bit and I've skidded. Oof. Looking at the replay, it didn't look that bad, but in the race it felt like he'd just sort of pushed me aside. So anyway, yeah, there's lap 1 of 18 done, and I'm just trying to get myself into a rhythm and remind myself, don't get sucked into getting drawn into everyone else racing hard. Remember what my strategy is, and that's look after the tyres, especially maybe the first 10 laps, because after lap 10 they're really going to show some wear. I wasn't happy with that. It was like he pushed out a bit. So I was really trying to be conservative on the tyres for the first 10 so that I could be strong near the end. Wasn't too sure if other people were going to be pitting. Wasn't sure if they were wisened up to a no stopper, and so should I be trying to push ahead or just stick to my plan and watch people pit away and fall behind. But you're never too sure at this moment. And being hard medium tyre, I found there's not much difference between the two. So anyone who's deciding to go medium up front, yeah, they're going to be faster, but not a hell of a lot faster. And if you can grab slipstream, they'll just tow you along. So it looks like the first two guys, Pinky Hammer and I think it's Big Tommy or something, looks like they're just getting ahead, breaking away from the pack. And I'm just sort of stuck in this 13th place at the moment, just being very careful, watching people pushing and sort of fighting, having a break a bit early here. Oh god, still a bit messy. Take advantage of that. Ooh. And each time I'd be passing people, I'd always be worried in case they'd try and get me back very aggressively. Yeah, 1 second penalty for that collision. I think the hit I did before the corner off turn 2, or 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. It's very hard to actually try and get a rhythm until I've got a bit of space. Then my head can clear. The tension, the adrenaline can sort of drop away, and it's alright. Get back to my routine. So maybe around here I check my fuel just to see where I'm at. At some point I do. It's probably because I'm right up near this car. Didn't feel like this guy was all that strong. Caught up to him quite easily, and able to make that pass cleanly, thank God. Yeah, you see me there just checking my fuel. So just pull off over to the left, pay that 1 second penalty, and now I've got to pass this guy again, running down. And here we go, I think we go for a bit of a cheeky squeeze here. So Harmonic, he's another guy who I've known for a long time, but I think here he's on mediums. So I guess if you're going medium, for me it's only if you're up the front and you've really got to try and break away from people and make at least a 15-second gap, because you know you're going to pit, and if you don't pit you're going to get a 1-minute penalty, so you've really got to put in a good effort to try and get away. But during the week with lobbies, I found people do break away, but not to that extent. And then halfway through the race you'll pit for mediums, hards, with a 30-second deficit on your lap times. So if you're 15 seconds ahead, you'll be 15 seconds behind. The only advantage is you'll have fresh tyres. You know, your lap times won't be a hugely great difference. So I was pretty solid on the no stop. I think it was around here I was doing a lot of squealing, a lot of sliding, and I was really annoyed with myself. I could see myself by lap 14 just having absolutely dead tyres and just falling back because I've just worked them too hard in the first 5 laps. So we'll see if we look at the fuel. Yep, so we've got 13 points, I think that's 13.5. I've got 13 laps remaining, so I've got half a lap of fuel up my sleeve. Just see the tyres just starting to wear, but still doing okay, and I'm moving forward. I'm in 8th place now. And South Oz, who I know, he's up in 3rd place at the moment, so he's doing alright up there. I think that's a 17-second gap between me and 1st place, which is quite a bit of time. So even these moments, so I'm in 8th and I can see there's 2 guys just ahead of me. One of them's showing signs of going slow. Adios, I think his name is, and he's got a penalty. So I thought it was my opportunity to make another pass. Also, while I'm doing all this, I'm hoping that people still have the plan, and I'm hoping the majority of them do, the plan of pitting. So when I'm short shifting, I'm going to about 60% revs, probably a bit more than that actually, about 60. So I get past him, I could see he's unghosted, his shadows on my right, had to try and give him a bit of room. And then he's right on my backside here, and I thought he really wants his spot back, so I stay defensive here. Backs off for the corner, and just drops off. So I'm not too sure if he's on mediums and they're just wearing. But then it looks like, oh, he's back. And it's moments like this where you can get caught up in trying to get away from the guy and just start chewing up your tyres. So I'm watching him and I'm looking after my tyres, and I guess I'm thinking that if he wants to go for a pass, don't fight it, let him do it. But yeah, he gets a bit loose here on that final corner and drops away, luckily for me. So now I've just got Kramit and I've been keeping up with him quite well lately, and I'm just going to see if I can go for a move here. Yeah, and actually I wasn't happy with this. I felt like I slowed him up a bit there, which for me isn't right. You know, a clean move is getting past someone without hindering them at all. And I felt like I locked up there. I literally parked the car in the corner and slowed him up. So even on this corner, I thought he's going to retaliate and hit me off or something. And luckily for me, no. And I think eventually I do pull away from him. It just feels so slow around these bits. Yeah, he's dropping away. So we're on lap 8. Now to me this is the window opening up for people to pit stop. Between lap 8 and maybe lap 10 for any planned pit stops. So far it doesn't look like anyone's... Oh, there goes one. Takuma. But the guys at the front, not yet. And I guess I was slowly starting to think, looks like everyone in front is heading for a nose stopper. But I'm basically racing for position here, and I just couldn't believe I'm in 5th position on lap 9 from 14th. And I'd attribute that really to people really just trying too hard and just losing grip, losing control, battling way too much. Whereas for me, I try my best to try and ignore everyone else. That's why I like open track. I don't like being in a group, because then my own strategy is kind of out the window because I'm focusing on everyone else around me. You know, this scenario I don't mind. You know, I've got plenty of open space, don't have too much pressure behind me, plenty of open space in front, gives me a chance to have a look at things like my fuel, see how I'm going, and see if I do it. Maybe not. But we're on lap 10 now, so we should have 9 laps of fuel left. But like I was saying, no pressure in front, all behind. And if I can see, so people must have hit it because I'm in 4th now. That was Pinky Hammer, I think. I missed that. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. The guy who was in the lead pitted. But I must admit, I thought, well, if you're going to pit, you want to be up the front. And that's where he was, so I thought I could see, maybe see this guy coming up through the group, the pack, I guess. And maybe he'll overtake me at the end. Who's to know? So there was that bit of pressure. Someone has pitted, and they'll have fresh tyres. But I got 3rd in front of me, and I can see 2nd, which is Fred Willows. And in 3rd place is Dingo Donga, who I've never seen him before. His internet connection isn't the best, which makes me think he's not from this region. I was just very cautious about going for a pass. there was someone else pitting. Which for me, the pit window is closed. You know, it's if you've gone this far, you're probably not going to be pitting. Yeah, see that guy just put the brakes on quite a bit on that corner. Yeah, put me off a bit. So even this point, I'm trying to read people and see where their weak points are on the track. So that corner he just went around, kind of noticed he did go a little bit wide. So next time we're around there, I'll then consider maybe if I can cut on the inside. Maybe his tyres are wearing. Maybe that's his natural line. But in 4th place so far, so what's that? That's up 10 places. And Pinky Hammer is in 6th place. But when I'd be looking at the map up top and I think, well, he's quite a bit away. Now that guy, Dingo Donga, he'll swing out wide out there. A, I think to break slipstream, and B, I think to try and get people to accidentally drift out a bit wide and get a penalty. That's my gut feeling. There's other people pitting. So I've got Pinky Hammer behind me with 12 seconds, and I was looking at the laps and thinking, well, we're on lap 12. We'll have 6 laps remaining. That's 2 seconds a lap, and that's quite a bit. Now he would have been on mediums and gone to hards. Yeah, my tyres are wearing, but I've looked after him quite well. So he needs to catch up by 2 seconds a lap. And at best, I think he might be getting me at half a second or 1 second a lap. So South Oz is in 1st place. And he's, 4 seconds ahead. And then we've got Fred Willows. And then Dingo Donga. And I guess maybe they weren't really my main concern here. It was watching Pinky Hammer in 5th place. So remaining in 4th. Looks like I'm going for a move here now. Trying to outbrake him. And I think the reason why I was doing that was I thought if I stayed behind him, I felt like he was holding me up, and Pinky Hammer will eventually catch up. I thought I've got to get past and make a move. And I was surprised how much I pulled away from that guy. Maybe I broke his rhythm or something. So I'm up into 3rd place now. And I was pretty happy here. I thought, well, I got South Oz, Fred Willows, and myself, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. This is looking good. And there's South Oz. He's now in view. I don't know if he's made a mistake, but it's like, well, there's 1st place is in view now. So lap 13 coming to an end. We'll have 5 laps remaining. And I've still got Dingo Donga behind me. He's out of my slipstream, but the problem was I now needed to rely on that top map because I didn't know how far away Pinky Hammer was. And there's Fred Willows going to pit. That was incredible. He's coming off hards. It's just mad. You know, maybe he's really cooked him. He seems to be driving alright, but now I'm in 2nd place with about a 3.8 second gap between me and South Oz. I thought he had a healthy lead here. and that he'd just run away with it. But I think I'm slowly pulling him in. And this is, I guess, one of the dilemmas when you're racing with your mates. And this is not racing for 16th and 17th, this is 1st and 2nd. So I'm just watching the gap, and I'm seeing that gap is coming down. So we're down into the 2 seconds. Obviously he'll be watching that as well. It's still maintaining a gap between me and Dingo Donga, and Pinky Hammer still looks like he's not really making much ground. So at this point things are looking great. It was still the dilemma of if I catch up with South Oz, do I just sheepishly sit behind him, or if I'm strong enough, do I make a pass? So once again, just as the setup guys, so I'm on hards of course for the whole race. Traction control 3 to look after the tyre wear, and brake balance +4 to the back. Try and look after those front tyres as much as I can, and take these corners as smooth as I can, of course. So you can see I'm pretty much making some ground now. I mean, I could stay back here and show no threat to him at all, but I'm just making too much ground here to be just sitting back. I've got plenty of room to move up. So we're under the 2 second gap now. So I think he's starting to struggle. I think he's struggling on these corners. I think he's used up all his tyres trying to keep up with Pinky Hammer and that big Tommy. He's chewed him up near the beginning of the race, and he's struggling now. So you can pretty much say I'm in his slipstream, I'm right up on his tail. He'd see me in his mirror. And I guess the question is now, what's going to happen? Is he just going to pull aside and let me go? Is he going to defend? And I'll be honest guys, I wasn't 100% happy with this. You'll see signs of him defending, but there is a moment where I think he blocks. And at the end of the race I wasn't 100% happy. I mean, I'm catching him up hand over fist. You know, there's a time when you just got to accept that you've been beaten. I'm in his slipstream. So even here, I just back off to make sure I don't accidentally hit him. It's the last thing I'd want to do. Do a Sebastian Vettel and Leclerc and the Ferraris at Interlagos, funny enough, take each other out. There's what, a two second gap between me and Dingo Donga. So I think it's around here I feel like he blocks. Get a bit of a better run than him out here. He pulls out and brakes. I've got to go back on the replay and have a look and see if that's his normal braking point. I mean, for me personally, if you're heading for the inside of the corner, someone moves to the outside, it's not a good idea to then pull out in front of them and brake at the same time. So for me it was a little bit like the gloves are off here, and I'm just going to now go for it. Obviously here, just still use a bit of caution. I thought I'd try and get a good exit here. My fuel is pretty good. Got about 1.3 laps of fuel. Unfortunately, pushing so hard, we actually both, this is where I lost it. We both go off, and if I'd just hung in there and stayed on track, this has allowed Dingo Donga to catch up with us. We both get a half-second penalty. We're heading for the finish line, so this will be a 1 second penalty each. So my head is racing at the moment, thinking, well, I need to get past South Oz and get away from Dingo Donga by more than 1 second. And I get the feeling Dingo Donga is just sitting behind us, just staying relaxed and waiting for the end result. He knows what's coming. It's a final corner, final push. And even here I sort of see a little bit of what I would call blocking, you know, but I'm not that close, but we're pulling in, and then I pull out to the right, and then he swings out to try and cover it. So Dingo Donga first, South Oz second, and myself third. So from 14th up to third place. There were 2 races. That was the only one I did. Up 11 places, 71 points. Well, I hope you enjoyed the stream, guys, and look forward to seeing yours as well. See you in the next one.